Welcome to the Parent Life Podcast. My name is Jason. I'm one of the pastors here at Fruit Cove Baptist Church. This is a weekly resource for parents who are trying to raise Christian children. This week, Christmas has come and gone, and a new year is upon us. It'll be here in just a matter of days. And so November 1st, we had an episode about serving the orphan because on November 7th was Stand Sunday. And we were kind of leading into that topic. But in James 1, where it talks about serving the orphan, it also says that serving the orphan and the widow, that is really what a church ought to be about in not just its community, but within its church as well. And so joining us today is Miss Ruth Hartley. So Miss Ruth, thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
So I know you are very active with our widows ministry here at the church. And are you a widow?
Yes, I am, for 8 years.
For 8 years.
Yes.
And tell us a little bit about that experience when you first became a widow. What were some of the emotions you were dealing with? What are some of the things, family dynamics even?
Well, I have two grown children who are married, and they, of course, helped me walk through it. My husband was ill for a number of years, and, of course, you always pray, Lord, heal him. Mm-hmm. But the healing occurred in heaven, not on earth.
Right.
So it was a very trying experience. It's as if you are going through a fog, and you're trying to filter your way through that fog. Mm-hmm. And then all of a sudden, I get a call from our Sunday school class, and they have started a widows ministry. And that's how it all began.
It all started right there.
As a class function.
So when they first called you, and I love that it came out of a small group and it's very organic. None of the pastors said, hey, we're going to start this.
No.
Just the people said, hey, we're going to start this.
Exactly.
What are some of the things that our church was able to do for you and for other widows? How can the church serve the widow?
The church can serve the widow by exactly what they're doing. Serving us, giving us an opportunity to open our widows group to all people, not just the Sunday school class, but the entire church. And our widows group is really a group that opens up to divorcees, for women that are just lonely. So we have expanded greatly from the beginning. The first 4 years of our widows group, it was strictly a Sunday school function. And then so many people came to us, why can't we be there? Why can't we join you? Why can't we do this? Because they saw the love and compassion that was going on with our group. And so we met with Linda Warren, and she helped us open it up to everyone. To everyone.
And I love you guys are very active in what you do, even just as a widows group, but for serving our community. One of my favorite memories of your group is I was at, I believe it was an elementary school that one of your classes has adopted. And I'm there to do the prayer on the campus before the semester begins or the school year begins. And there you are with some of your other ladies praying over a school where I'm assuming none of you had children currently enrolled.
No.
But you were still very active in your community, and I love that. So many of our families are transplanted to this area. They have moved from other states, other areas of, I would say the country, but really around the world. And many of them are without grandparents here. So how can our young families with children serve widows in our community? And what would that do, you think, for our widows in our community?
Let's back up for just a second. We are trying to teach our ladies to be servants, not to be served to. But there are some of them, of course, that are in facilities, and some of them are just home-ridden and they can't come out.
Right.
For those people, I would say that cards, a friendly hug, learn their name, give them a phone call, take them a cookie.
Hey, everyone loves a cookie, right?
Just be careful that they're not a diabetic.
Right.
But our widows group has served at Legacy. We've served cookies and punch at Legacy. We have made about 200 pairs of shoes for Cunningham Creek. That was a couple of years ago. We have made placemats for all of the Legacy residents.
Wow.
We have made wreaths for their doors. So we're not just a group that gets together and has fun. We enjoy doing this, but we're serving.
Serving together.
We're serving, and I think that's very important.
I think that's very important to say, yes, we experience loss together, but at the same time we can do something, as a group. And so you were saying you've created and done all these things for different areas in our community even as well.
Exactly. Yeah. And we love doing that because it gives us an opportunity to get out and mingle with those who are not as fortunate as we are. You know, they're not as blessed with having health like we still have. Although we've all suffered a loss, we can share that loss together.
That's right. And I love, you know, you're even serving the community. So it's Christians within our church who, you know, they're part of the widows ministry. But then you go out even outside of our church to serve widows outside.
Absolutely.
And sharing the gospel with these people, and that's fantastic. So for our parents who are raising their kids, I would really encourage you, join the widows in what they're doing. They're serving the schools, they're serving their community, they're going to the Legacy, which is a assisted living community here in Fruit Cove, and so many other opportunities that we didn't even actually get to, but join them in what they're doing. Think about, okay, for my kid who maybe he doesn't get to see his grandma or grandpa, how can they join in, you know, and build solid relationships with other people here inside of your church? Miss Ruth, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been a pleasure just to hear your story and hear your vision for the widows to get together and to serve our community. So thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us, and thank you for thinking about us.
Well, this has actually been 1 year of episodes for the Parent Life podcast. Thank you so much for those of you who have been subscribing and joining in. It's not too late to subscribe and go back and find some of those previous episodes if you missed one. But we are a ministry of Fruit Cove Baptist Church here in Jacksonville, Florida. If you have any more questions about our church and her ministries, you can go to fruitcove.com. If you would like to interact with us here at the Parent Life Podcast, you can email us at parentlife, all one word, at fruitcove.com. Thank you so much, and have a great New Year's.